Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to St. James Cathedral. Time for the pre-concert talk. It's half an hour to the concert itself. Welcome to this rush hour concert put on by the International Music Foundation. I'm Robbie Ellis. And if you turned up expecting the Lincoln Trio today, there's been a family emergency in the Lincoln Trio, so we have laid on a different instrumental ensemble entirely, and a very lovely piece of music, Robert Schumann's Piano Quartet in E flat. And I have two of the performers in the Piano Quartet here. At the far end in the red is Eleanor Bartsch. She is a violinist in the Contrast Quartet, a concert master of a number of different orchestras. I'm going to be interested to talk more about what the Contrast Quartet is up to. And then Frank Babbitt in the middle. He's a viola player in the Lyric Opera Orchestra, teaches at Loyola, and is also an actor and narrator. So two people with a lot of interesting things going on. So Eleanor, hello again.
Hi.
Hi. You did the season opener of this concert series, right? The
Yes.
one that I missed.
Yes, right. You weren't here, but it was lovely, I assure you. But we opened this series. I'm no stranger to the Rush Hour series. Contrast is here pretty much every year, and it's wonderful. We love being here.
Well, Contrast has some fun things coming up. So your quartet has worked a lot with the Kruger brothers. They are from Switzerland via North Carolina. Did I get that right? A folk trio. So we've got was it banjo, guitar, and double bass? Is that right?
Banjo, guitar, and bass. Yes, a
Yes.
bluegrass trio.
And there's something new from your quartet and their trio coming out, right?
Yes, it's been this wonderful partnership that we have had, our classical string quartet in partnership with a bluegrass trio. And actually, WFMT does play some of our recordings.
We've offered it in a pledge drive or two, yes.
Yeah, right. So they're a wonderful group, and their banjo player, Jens Kruger, who's originally from Switzerland. Imagine that, a North Carolina banjo player from Switzerland who now lives here. He is a wonderful composer and has become really fascinated with this combination of string quartet with bluegrass and sort of this mashing of classical and bluegrass styles. And so he has written a new multi-movement work. Apparently it's about 40 minutes in length. I just got the music recently.
Okay.
But we're going to record it and premiere this new piece at the Kruger Brothers Bluegrass Festival in North Carolina called Carolina in the Fall. So that's on my music stand now. In addition to the Schumann and some other things, is a bluegrass concerto.
Well, thank you for stepping up and putting the Schumann together. And the Contrast Quartet as well. You have an album coming out next year. Is that recorded, yet to be edited? What's the deal there?
Yeah, we're recording our own album. It's entitled Folklore, and it includes some pieces that have folk influence because that's something we're particularly interested in. So works of Dvorak, Florence Price, and others. And we've recorded a little over half of the album, and the back half of the album will be recorded in 2 weeks. We go into the studio, and that will be released in 2023. So it's really exciting. It's an exciting time for us. A lot going on.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk to Frank now. So how long have you been in the Lyric Opera Orchestra?
A number of years. Quite a number of years, yes.
Yeah.
About 27, actually.
And I haven't seen you in this particular concert series before, not that I've done a ton of them, but I was really interested to know that you're not only a violist and you teach violin too, but you are also an actor, and you maintain a career as both, is that right?
Well, I do a little bit of acting. I do a dramatic reading of Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol every year. I'll be doing 4 performances at the Epiphany Center this December, and I'm really excited about that. It's an adaptation that Dickens himself arranged for his famous public readings. So I have a lot of fun with that.
So sort of a you're not reading from the published book. It's more
Yeah.
more a one-man script that works.
The published book is about 3.5 hours if you read it from beginning to end. He condensed it down to about 90 minutes, so it's very, it's a wonderful distilled version of the story. It kind of gets rid of a lot of the socio-political commentary and focuses on the fun and the festive atmosphere, and of course the ghosts and all of that. So it's a lot of fun.
And you're taking on all these different characters.
Yes, and my kind of special adaptation is that I add live music with it. I play the violin. There's a couple of spots in the story where there's a fiddler who comes in and regales the Fezziwig's ball, and I play some of that music, and so it's a lively event. I would love to see some of you there.
At the Epiphany Center, 4 performances this December.
In December, yeah.
And a very easily traveled show, one person, just
very easy, one person and the fiddle.
Yep. Yes, lots of shows take more crew than that. And you teach as well. You still teach at Loyola University?
I don't teach at Loyola anymore, but I do work with people who come by and want to work on something. My door is always open.
Fair enough. So there's just one piece on the program today. As I said, the Lincoln Trio, they were going to be presenting some of their Chicago compositions today, but family emergency, they can't be here. So Kuang-Hao Huang, no stranger to this series, put together a quartet, and all of you have Wisconsin connections you discovered backstage.
Yes. Deep roots in Wisconsin. Yeah, I'm from Eau Claire, and our pianist is from Whitewater, and our cellist is also from Eau Claire, but the wrong high school. So, but that's okay. We get along great anyway. So.
And you're an honorary Wisconsin.
She went to school in Wisconsin, so.
Wisconsinite.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like the suitcase, Samsonite. Got it. Well, I'll introduce Robert Schumann's piano quartet a little bit. So this came from a reasonably happy time in Robert Schumann's life. 1840 was the year that after many years and attempts of pressure, he finally got Friedrich Wieck's permission to marry his daughter, Clara Wieck, a very prominent piano prodigy, a much better pianist than Robert Schumann was, and finally marrying the love of his life meant that there was this flowering of art song in 1840. 1840 was his year of song, and then 1841 their first child was born, and that child actually lived to see the great stock market crash of 1929. They lived that long. First child was born 1841, and that was the year that he wrote a couple of symphonies and a piano concerto and some overtures he wrote for orchestra. And then 1842 was the year that he wrote all sorts of chamber music, including the piece that you're going to hear today. So I'll ask both of you, maybe Eleanor, you can go first. Do you have any particularly favorite moments of this quartet? Am I putting you on the spot a bit too much? No?
I have an answer ready, actually.
Oh, good,
for
good.
this. Yeah. So this is a piece that sometimes we would call a desert island piece, where it's a piece where if you could pick something to bring with you, a lot of chamber musicians would say that this piece makes their top 5 or 10 list of all-time favorite chamber works. And a big part of that, I think, is because of the slow movement of the piece, which is full of love language and beautiful poetic melodies. And there's this moment right at the end, we were just talking about it, there's this moment at the end where it's almost as if Robert Schumann's thoughts float up into the stars with this beautiful rising scale, little twinkly scales in the violin and viola. And I remember I had this memory when we were rehearsing it today that when I first learned the piece back in college, of playing it sort of over and over and over again and just being kind of fascinated with these little scales and just having more and more to discover about them and feeling very sort of attached to this moment. So it's every time I get to play it again, I feel that same feeling, and it makes me think of a particular time and place and imagery. So.
A particular time and place in Robert Schumann's life. I mean, he was a brand new dad. Oh. He had a 1-year-old when he wrote it. His Clara was pregnant with their second. Frank, I'll ask you the same question. Do you have any moments in this piece, mindful that Eleanor already gave one absolutely fantastic moment and you're not allowed to copy her, do you have any moments that you'd love the audience to really listen out for?
Well, one thing I'd like to have you think about is something that I read recently, that Robert and Clara communicated with each other very often musically. They'd be playing, they'd have two pianos in the parlor, and they would play back and forth to each other. And so this was really, truly a love language. And I think that you'll hear, especially in the slow movement in the Andante and cantabile, you will hear this beautiful love and devotion that he had for Clara. Truly an extraordinary woman, extraordinary pianist, a wonderful composer, a brilliant musician, and a mother, and a concert artist, and also someone who kept the family together when Robert was having, severe challenges with his health. So I just think it's so personal and so extraordinary, the beauty of this piece. So I hope you enjoy it.
And the finale has plenty of themes getting passed between the instruments. So, yeah, picture the Schumann household and those two pianos in conversation. Well, thank you so much. Before I let you go, I'm just going to mention some upcoming concerts from the International Music Foundation. Tomorrow, the Dame Myra Hess Memorial Concert, which is at the 17th Church of Christ Scientist across the river, features local boy Done Good, come back from Los Angeles. It's Ben Lash, cellist. He's playing with Rodolfo Leone on piano, music by Beethoven, Chopin, and Martinu. And then the next Rush Hour concert, as long as we don't have any more program substitutions, it is a memorial concert for Deborah Sobol, who ran the series for so many years. 4 different cellists from the CSO, Brant Taylor, Ken Olsen, Karen Bazrak, and Katinka Klein. TBA, exactly what they're going to play. Brant is putting together some wonderful surprises for you, but we know that there will be some Bach on the program, because what else would you include when you're a cellist? Please join me in thanking Eleanor Bartsch and Frank Babbitt, and the concert will start in 15 minutes. Now I can go. Welcome to this Rush Hour concert, Robert Schumann's first piano quartet here in St. James Cathedral in Chicago. I'm Robbie Ellis. Just a reminder, please turn off all devices, anything that makes noise, please switch it off or to silent at this time. This concert is presented by the International Music Foundation, which is grateful for support from the Claire, Rush Hour Concert's exclusive media sponsor, as well as the National Endowment for the Arts and the Illinois Arts Council. And now please welcome your performers for today: violinist Eleanor Bartsch, violist Frank Babbitt, cellist Paula Kosower, and pianist Kuang-Hao Huang. Thank you.